What's going on, guys? This is Lady Luck here again. Okay, so my video is going to be drastically different tonight because I'm just shocked at how these scam companies operate and get away with what they do for so long. And if you really do some research and some reading and just kind of Google some things, try to figure out, hey, how does trades operate, regular investment companies, what do they do, what should I expect? You'll know when you're falling into a scam like NovaTech. They claim to provide financial services and do forex and crypto trading, and they don't. They just take people's money and they move it around into different accounts. I have a full video of that I did a couple days ago. It's about an hour long, and you guys should check that out. And I'm basically talking about my personal experience and with what my mom went through. They tried to scam my mom, but then they actually got two of her friends, and one, I advised to him, like, hey, listen, maybe you should call to your bank, file a fraud claim, show them the transaction where the money came out, and hopefully they can, every bank has a fraud department. They can investigate it and prove to give you your money back, which is exactly what happened. So that is how he got his money back. But her female friend that paid into it, the so-called uplines or the recruiters of NovaTech are just, avoiding her calls. They're not responding to her. They're not reaching out to her. And shame on them for that. So even the recruiters and these uplines in NovaTech are avoiding people's calls. And there's two recruiters that tried to get my mom. One's a female, one's a male. And the male, he actually got my mom's, her godmother and her godbrother and a couple of others to pay into this scam. But for some reason, he needed to go to their home, get on their devices, and set up some type of transaction manually on their devices. And they have no idea what he did. And I said, well, when I talked to her godmother, I said, well, you have no idea what he downloaded on your phone or your computer, whatever he used. So you have no idea what virus you may have on that. He could have put on something that keeps track of your activity on your phones, probably monitoring, every time you log into your banks and your investment accounts. Probably has passwords and usernames and everything. This is one big scam. So I don't put it past anybody to do the lowest of the lowest, including NovaTech, to scam someone and to perpetuate this scam. And they've been at this for 2 or 3 years. And this is what stemmed my video. And of course, I did 2 shorts about it. One called A Message to the Thieves of #NovaTechFX and their minions, #scammers. And I got a response. Ethan Bast is what his YouTube profile name is. But let me tell you guys something. This is not even the shock of this email trail. Comment trail. It's just how bad this goes. It's so crazy. This is my first time really encountering a scammer like this head on. And I watch a lot of scam baiting videos. Channels like Kit Boga and Renoa and, Scammer Payback with Perogi and Scammer Sandwich and, of course, Jim Browning, Scammer Revolt. I watch so many of these scam baiting channels. You can almost just tell a scammer a mile away. I don't care if they're on the phone with you, if they're responding to you in the YouTube comment section. After a while, you kind of pick up on, okay, this doesn't sound right. This broken English, the syntax of the statements, and then just the content of the responses in and of itself is just stupid. So that's what happened. So Ethan Bass, check this out, claims that he's been with NovaTech for 3 years, but he allegedly joined YouTube 2 years ago. 1 subscriber. This one comment trail, I don't know why I keep saying email. This one comment trail has 59 comments from him. And then plus my comments equals 111 comments. Probably the absolute longest comment trail that I've ever kept going since I've been on social media, period. And he literally just kind of, terrible video. I was like, oh, I see, that's the best you got. Well, hopefully the brainwash methods will wear off soon. And he said that he's been in this for 3 years. His brain feels washed. Ugh. And then it just keeps going. And I'm just going to scroll down. You guys can pause it, read it. Yes, I gut punch. They're stealing money, so I don't really care how he feels. And then he tries to weaponize Christianity in the name of God and tries to, I guess, appeal to me from a religious or a spiritual stance. I am a Christian. And that's what pisses me off. You're weaponizing Christianity in the name of God and Jesus Christ to steal money from people. I understand you may not have a soul, Ethan Bast, but I don't care about hurting your feelings either, because what you're doing is just wrong. And then it's blasphemous. I mean, come on. Leave God out of your mouth. Please, let's not do that. Of course, the first thing that these scammers say is, oh, you're hating on us. You're saying negative things. Cease and desist court documents isn't negative reviews or hating on someone. It's a legal court document. So if you decide you just want to violate this court document, guess what? You're going to go to jail for contempt of court and for violating the court order. These cease and desist court orders are orders upheld by the courts, signed by a judge. There's no option to that. And so far, NovaTech has received a cease and desist court order from California and from Ontario. And when they were previously that AWS mining, they got a securities fraud warning from the Bank of Russia. They got some from Texas. And let's not forget the private or the civil lawsuits against them from 3 private, individuals that I guess, lost money. They lost money to this scam company. They have about 2 or 3 of those, plus the many, many bankruptcies they filed in the state of, New York and Florida. So these people are, the owners are broke. And they have this cultish, mindset. But that's not where it ends. So as I go down, and we're just scrolling through, this is one of the 2 comment trails under one video, a short video at that. It's what, a minute long, 59 seconds. It was a YouTube short that I created from my 1-hour video, just kind of explaining NovaTech, and it's a scam. And guess what? I'm tired of people saying, oh, if you're not in it, then you don't understand it. No, you don't need to be in a scam to know it's a scam. You just need to understand how trading works. You need to understand why crypto is just not even worth investing in the first place. And the reason why it's so easy to scam people with this crypto nonsense, because it's not regulated by the SEC. And cryptocurrency was supposed to be electronic currency, a digital currency. It wasn't really supposed to be set up as a trading asset or securities asset. It's just supposed to be digital currency used to spend. But either way, because you have all this foreign exchange, the Forex stuff, the crypto stuff. It's so easy for people, coming into or creeping into our markets and our financial systems and stuff, and banks are investing in this and all this other nonsense. It gets to a point where it's like it's not difficult for people to be scammed, thinking that this crypto they're receiving is actually worth X amount of US dollars. It still shows you the power of US dollars. If you have banks that are falling and closing and shutting down, I mean, we had 3 banks in the US closed down within the last week. That shows you how powerful the US dollar still is, not the crypto. That's just proof in and of itself. People can't buy a house with crypto. You need US dollars for that. Sorry. The Perogi didn't spend crypto on that yacht they have or their, home or cars, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. No, they use US dollars. Okay. So I don't know anyone that they've suckered into this scam that has actually said, oh, we're just going to give up some crypto we got and we're going to use that as our payment into the scam. No, they had to give up money, US dollars. I already know that there are offshore accounts Perogi have where they have actual cash sitting in it. And one of their recruiters uplines already confirmed that. 1, because he's not that bright, and 2, because he couldn't keep lying about it when I started asking questions. And there's one thing to be in a room with 6 people, you're giving a presentation, no one knows what you're talking about. But then it's another thing when you say some things and someone like me I'm a financial analyst. So with a little financial background, I don't know it all. I'm always learning. But I do know enough to know what to ask. And I also know how normal investment companies operate. I know what to expect when I do buy, trades of stocks or shares of stocks. I do know what to expect in return as proof that I've done this purchase. I do my research and homework to see what these stocks are worth and look at the company before I even purchase it. Those are the things you can just do, simple things you can do to keep yourself from being scammed. But when you don't know anything about that, it's easy for somebody to show you a fake website with a bunch of pretty colors, demo accounts with a bunch of random numbers in it that mean nothing, not linked to any real data, not even on a secured server. And you be beguiled and next thing you know, you're being scammed. And it doesn't matter if you're smart or have a master's degree versus just a high school diploma. It doesn't matter. There are a lot of people out there with law degrees and medical degrees that are being scammed, especially by NovaTech. And people with high school diplomas, maybe associate's degree, they careful about their money. They guard it. They know how to read and research and Google. Might be smarter savers and investors than you think. Don't underestimate someone simply because they don't have, a master's degree or a medical degree or a law degree. The scamming industry is $1 billion industry, and it's not about whether you're smart or stupid. It's just a matter of understanding what you're getting yourself into. If you don't understand trading or crypto or Forex or any of that, it's easy to be conned because you have no idea that crypto is absolutely worthless. It's not regulated. You can't do anything with it. So if you get crypto out there, you go spend, $2 million on some crypto, and then you turn around and find out, oh my God, this crypto is worth 10 cents. I mean, you've lost money. You can't do anything with that. And NovaTech tried to give my mom's friend, the one that did get his money back from his bank, he tried to give him some cryptocurrency coin called BTCHD, worth 8 cents on the dollar. That's it. What is he going to do with that? You can't take that to the grocery store and buy groceries. he would still have to convert that over to cash and then get the cash and then do what he needs to do. It still shows you the power of the US dollar. You can't use that crypto coin to go to the grocery store to pay your water bill or your light bill or your mortgage. So it's essentially worthless. You can't use it in your normal everyday life to make purchases or anything. Not to live and sustain a household. I cannot take crypto to Georgia Power. Say, hey, I need to pay my power bill. Or, pay my water bill with it. Or my car insurance. I can't use that to pay my essentials. I darn sure can't take it to the grocery store and buy groceries with it. In the United States, I haven't heard that at all. But this is where things get comical. In this comment section with this Ethan Bass. He's fake. It's not his real name. And of course, he calls me misinformed and I'm just, I haven't read or researched anything. I don't know anything. He even tries to say something spiritual, and I was like, stop. Leave God out of your mouth and out of this scam. The same thing I would tell this petty young lady. Stop telling people God told you to steal money from people. You sound really, really dumb. Cut that nonsense out. Just don't. So I basically just started realizing, like, this sounds like a scammer. This sounds like one of these Indian scammers that I hear in these scam baiting videos. It's so funny. Because, it's just the pattern of the speech and the dialect and the content and the subject of the conversation. It's drastically shifting. He realizes, okay, I can't get her on a spiritual level, so that scares me. I'm happy to be persecuted in the name of Christ. You sound like an extremist. Patiently waiting for more false accusations. You can easily get a copy of the cease and desist orders. I don't know why look up the cease and desist orders. Read the documents. You can always put in a request to get a copy of that. The Ontario temporary cease order is available online. You can literally just look that up and read the actual document. The one in California and in Texas, those are available online. Any U.S. citizen can put in a FOIA request, FOIA, and get a copy of any court document. You can get the cease orders. You can get a copy of the Pettyon's bankruptcy filings in New York and Florida. You can get copies of this stuff. So it's not a secret. They may have some information blacked out, or redacted. But overall, you can get a copy and read it for yourself. And the Ontario cease order actually has their location listed as St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this is a court document, so it has to have an accurate location on here. And that's where they are, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I kept asking him throughout the comments, hey, can you get the name of the bank and the account numbers where these offshore accounts, the Pettyons, have all this cash sitting in? Can you get that information? Send it over to me. What's the name of the bank they use? And what's the account numbers? You can give me the routing number and I can look it up. Most banks' routing numbers are typically the same. And the account numbers are what, differs. So just give me the routing number. Of course, he's going on and on about everything else. He said, you don't recognize the company, which is fine. You apparently don't read it at all. What are you grasping for? I'm not grasping for anything. I'm reporting that NovaTech is a scam company. It's a scam. As a matter of fact, I don't want to refer to them as a company. Only their pathological lying cult owner, Cynthia Pettyons, refer to this as a company. I don't want to legitimize this nonsense. So he's right. It's not a company. You're absolutely right about that. It's a scam. It's a Ponzi scam. The end. It's not a company. It's nice to know somebody that's been in part of this for 3 years don't even want to consider the company. This is not a negotiation tactic. I don't know what he was trying to say by saying that. Like, oh, fine. Just don't call it a company then. Oh, no, okay, I'm going to call it what it is. It's a scam. So he's, of course, talking about my posters of home free and my backgrounds and my videos. Because I have a whole channel. Oh, he says, best scam I've ever been a part of. Love getting paid weekly from scammers. Of course, he's an Indian scammer. So that's pretty much that. He just kind of made this very easy. And this is what happens when scammers get caught and they don't know what to say. They start acting maniacal. They start laughing, or they just, in the videos that I watch, Kit Boga and all of these guys that I mentioned that have these phenomenal channels you should check out, they start acting like they've lost their minds. They start raging, screaming and yelling. They start speaking gibberish, and it's basically like they just start asking, okay, so are you just gonna get the gift cards for me? I just need the gift cards. It's like, no, I owe you nothing, you little simp. I don't owe you anything. Get a job. Get out of here. You stealing money from people and you okay with that? Like, come on. These cult leader Perogi people can easily just say, you know what? We're not going to have a scam company. We're not going to have a scam thing going. How about we just get on YouTube and just talk? And maybe people will just watch us. And then we get money that way. And just tell people what we know, and we can put on there, this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're not licensed stockbrokers. We're just giving you our 2 cents, and then be done with it. I wouldn't even be mad if they did that, because it would be a lot more legitimate. No, they want a whole Ponzi scam. Okay. So he says something about Chanel, whatever. I just, I was like, that just seems anti-Semitic and racist. So we're not even gonna. No. Just give me the name of the bank and the account numbers where their offshore accounts are. And I made a point to state, hey, you got your very extremist ideals. You're invoking Bible's verse into that, and you're stealing money from people and talking about you're willing to be persecuted. Boy, please, you can't even handle my daggone comments and responses in the YouTube comment section. He said something about, do you know 1 + 1 equal? No, you should ask your 4th grade teacher that. Why are you online with a fake account and you can't add 1 + 1? I don't care if he was being cynical. I don't. He doesn't have a brain. He's a scammer. I don't care. And I said, okay, so you're being paid weekly from innocent victims. These Ponzi scams work by having, peasants come in, and us peasants come in, and we put money into something, and then they just take our money and spread it out. That's how Ponzi scams work. I haven't put any money in this. I know a Ponzi scam when I know it, see it, but that's what they do. They get people that, are looking for a way to make some extra money, that may not fully understand trading and this Forex and crypto nonsense, which is absolutely worthless. And they, get them at their most vulnerable points. People who will say, hey, I want to get back 3% of yield and return on my investments every week. Something that's just astronomical. And then they're never wondering, okay, what type of crypto coin are we talking about here? And where is proof that I actually have this amount of crypto coin? I mean, legitimate proof. I'm going to take this to a bank and find out what it's worth and try to get it evaluated. And then they're going to tell you, we don't know what this is. We've never heard of BTC HD crypto coin. We don't know what that is. Like, that would be the easiest way to find out that you're probably dealing with a scam. If you're being offered something, as opposed to the US dollars you gave up. They're trying to offer you something completely different, and you have no idea what it is or how much it's worth. So, that's what they do though. These Ponzi scams, they get your money and they sell you an idea that the dream of having there's some possibility in your life that you might get access to this amount of money, and you don't, and you lose your money. And there's just a lot of research out there, in this day and age of technology. You can literally Google Ponzi scams and watch documentaries. Hell, you can watch the one about Charles Ponzi, Bernie Madoff, the Sam Bankman-Fried boy, who's about to go to prison. He's got 12 felony charges for fraud and intent to defraud and a whole lot of other things. I mean, that boy got slapped on with 4 charges after the original 8. And he's facing 20 to 30 years in prison. The only reason why the other business partner and his girlfriend are, not sitting in prison themselves is because they got a plea deal and they're cooperating like hell. They're giving everything up. They're spilling all the beans. And I have a feeling that these Perogi people are going to be put in the same situation. There's 3 of them. And that Cynthia lady seemed like she would just basically throw her husband and brother under the bus if it means her not going to prison. But you're going to go, little girl. You're going to go. Because you're stealing money. And it's so blatant. And now it seems like NovaTech is hiring Indian scammers to set up fake YouTube accounts. Because this is exactly what it comes down to in the comments section. This is just one part of it. This is the first set of 111 comments. We're just going back and forth in one comment trail here. And it's horrible. Yeah, it's very simple. You heard of Forex trading and crypto trading. I'm sure you know all about that's what turns me on about this attention to detail. Dude, stop trying to turn on your English translator because you're missing some words in that. All that broken English. Ugh. I was like, dude, just tell me the name of the bank and the account numbers that the Perogi are using for their offshore accounts. Since you claim to know, I don't know if you guys, you can pause this and read comments on here. And I'm recording this because I don't want these comments to come up missing from his end. I told him don't delete it. This is a public, YouTube is a public forum. My video is public. It's not private. So all these comments are available for people to read. And I don't want him to just go in and just delete anything after I report this. So, I kept saying, okay, fine. What's their e-wallet ID number? What's their information? You talking about you getting paid every week. From where? And so, of course, he, comes back. Oh, he's like, oh, you haven't done your research. Cease and desist means nothing. That's what he says here. Ethan Bast, you fake Indian scammer. Talking about cease and desist means nothing. That's because he could care less about our U.S. laws. He could care less about our federal laws over here. He could care less about how our courts operate and what a cease and desist order means. He literally did not even Google cease and desist orders. But he tells me I haven't done my research. These cease and desist orders are available to the public. If you do a Google search, you will see it. And these court documents don't lie. Legal court documents don't lie. But he says this cease and desist means nothing. If a state sends that, then they simply don't offer in that state. Offer what? If a state sends that, then they simply don't offer in that state. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? What other misleading information you want to share? There's nothing misleading about these legal court documents. They're literally available for anybody on earth to Google and look up now. They're online. Your VIDES are just as terrible at your responses. Asking for money to your Cash App is a scam. What's your account and routing number attached to your Cash App? This is deterring and deflecting. My Cash App is not a scam. YouTube actually pays you for ads being generated on your videos. That's a legitimate way to make money. I also have to file this on my taxes. Also, they have a super thanks, super chat options. I mean, and someone asking to donate to you and you create a Cash App for your channel or a Zelle account or whatever for people to donate to your channel. That's volunteer. I am not taking money from anybody or stealing money from anyone or forcing anyone to give me money. And then on top of that, telling someone, hey, you're going to get back a 3 or 4% return on your investment every week. Get out of here. Get out of here and kick rocks. Are you kidding me? Oh, he's waiting and excited and still not answering my questions or trying to look up what cease and desist orders mean and how they come about. I mean, of course, have to have evidence to even issue that, and they have to be signed off by judges. So you can't ignore that. I don't know why he thinks like this is the stuff that they're spewing. And NovaTech is okay with this. So of course, I'm saying, okay, are you telling me that NovaTech is literally ignoring these cease and desist orders, court orders? Is that what they're doing? So now I'm just asking him heavily about that. It's like every YouTube channel have, ways to donate. Cash App, Zelle. Every YouTuber, influencer has ways to donate if people want to donate. And I always just appreciate views and likes and subs. No one has to give me money. That's the beauty of this. But this Ponzi scam only works when people are bringing money into it. Otherwise it falls apart. My goodness. So I'm sitting here now, I'm just like, okay, are they actually ignoring these cease and desist orders? You claim to have been paid with NovaTech for 3 years, and somehow, this fake YouTube profile of yours. Oh, God. It's been only operational for 2 years. And I know that the list that Paul Hardingham sent out, I don't even remember seeing his name on there. Now I'm curious to see if his name is on there, because I mean he's an Indian scammer, so he could just literally be paid to have a fake YouTube account, and then they just go in and stifle free speech and post up comments and reviews on people's videos that are telling the truth about NovaTech. NovaTech have scammed people and stolen money from people, and their court documents, civil lawsuits with evidence to prove that they are scamming and defrauding people. I mean, those civil lawsuits in and of themselves are from the individuals they've stolen money from. So you can't make any of that up, and you can easily look it up and get copies of it. People just don't want to believe it because they don't want to feel stupid about being scammed. But like I said, there's no reason to feel stupid, because look at what they're doing now. You're either going to take action, try to get your money back and help others, put out a warning message to others, or this nonsense here where this scam just kind of overtakes you, and they have people, Indian scammers, setting up fake YouTube accounts. It's ridiculous. And I literally kept asking him, are you telling me that, NovaTech is paying you to have fake YouTube accounts and they're ignoring these cease and desist orders? Because that's contempt of court, and they can go to jail for that. Is that what you're saying? And then, of course, I told him, I'm like, dude, you got to be like a fourth grader or something. Shouldn't you be in school? Where are your parents? You must be 9 years old. That's what I said. You must be 9 years old. Where are your parents at? And why are you not in school? Why are you not in school? You should be asking your teacher what's 1 + 1. You little boy, you trying to sit on the phone and sit here and comment on grown folk stuff. Get off this phone. and go to your room, do your homework. He talk about. Yeah, of course he deflects and defers about my Cash App thing. Like I said, nothing illegal about it at all. I mean, it is what it is with that. No YouTubers violating any YouTube policies by setting up a channel for people to donate money for their content and just because they enjoy it. But that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I was like, you eating popcorn in class, you pay attention to the teacher. Especially if you're taking English, because boy, your English needs work. Man, I gut punch as much as possible because he's a scammer. I don't care how he feels. Nope, not at all. He's not a real Christian. They just say that. A lot of those scammers say that. They try to appeal to people on their religious side or their faith or just empathetic side. Ma'am, I've lost $2,000 and I need to get it back because I will be fired from my job. When they didn't steal a dime of your money, they just did something with the HTML format just so you can see it on your computer screen that it looks like they took that money out, but they didn't. That's the scam. And of course I said, well, hey, I know NovaTech is a scam company, and the recruiter that confirmed to me that there definitely are offshore accounts. And he refused to say the name of the bank and the account numbers. I said, I know that exists. I mean, the Perogi's have to have a way of storing cash, right? And they're certainly not buying that fake crypto or using it. But they give it to you all because this is a quick cash grab for them. It's a Ponzi scam. Them and maybe the top people in that scam are the ones that have access to actual US dollars. Everybody else, you guys just lost your money. And you have to make some noise to get it back, or hope that your state or the courts in your state send a cease and desist order, because that's how they're forced to pay back people in Canada and California. They're having to do it through those cease and desist orders. And guess what? They can't pay them back in crypto. They have to pay them back in US dollars. Because nobody's going to want your fake crypto or your Forex nonsense. If they paid you $60,000 of US dollars, they're not going to want you to give them back some crypto or some Forex. Anybody got time for that? Nope. Give me back the money and the currency I gave to you. So he was like, best scam company out there. Love NovaTech. I'm sure you do. They're paying you every week to set up fake YouTube accounts. So it just, towards the end, he's just laughing, laugh out loud. And of course, I'm like, so are you telling me that the owners are ignoring the cease and desist orders from California and now from Ontario? Are you telling me that all of you all share the same sentiment with these cease and desist orders? Are you all telling other people in this scam, people that you're stealing money from, the recruiters, the owners, are they telling people that they don't mean anything? Is that what they really think? He never wanted to answer that. And then he started talking about me needing a weave. He said, my hair is cut short, but yet I need a weave. Ugh. Like, child, please, get out of here. So I'm like, dude, no. Why would I get a weave if I cut my hair? Again, Falls, you need to repent. This company is getting better. How do you say I need to repent and then call it comedy about when I say that you're stealing money from people that are losing their livelihoods, their life savings, their retirement accounts, money they can use for their kids' college education, and yet this is his response when I say that. Oh, your scripts are amazing. No, you have a script because you work in a scam call center in India. I don't have a script. I'm smarter than you. I don't know why you think I have I don't need a script to say any of this. As a matter of fact, it's not even gonna bother me. I'm gonna sleep peacefully tonight. So he got Your telephone game is pathetic. Yet you sat in this comment section going back and forth with me. This went on for like an hour, maybe 2 hours. It was just ridiculous. Oh, and then he said he would cash out me for some weave. Little boy. I don't even want you to cash out me. Don't send me nothing. And I said that I do not want your stolen scam money. Don't send me one penny. Besides, I'm going to report all this anyway. But this is what really gets me here, when he talks about the mirror. Look in the mirror, you will understand. Truth hurts, I can understand. Because I don't have weave in my head. I tell you what. You look in the mirror. No. I'm going to look in the mirror. And here's what I'm going to see. I'm going to see a representation of all of the true victims that have lost money to this scam. When you and those Perogi owners look in the mirror, and those uplines and those recruiters look in the mirror, you're not going to see anything because you don't show a reflection. Vampires don't have reflections. Yeah, you don't have a reflection, so there's nothing to look back at. I didn't feel bad about saying it because they don't have a soul. I mean, you stealing money. These Perogi's going from one scam company to another. And they don't care. So I said flat out, I want you to know I'm going to be, recording this and uploading. He said, please report. 20 of us already reported yours, LMBO. I don't know. Maybe my Cash App. My legitimate Cash App. But no, report whatever you want, dude. This is definitely getting reported. And there's 20 of you all. So your call center is 20 people deep. Yeah, okay. So you can just imagine if 20 people in a scam call center, and they can do at least 5 to 6 YouTube accounts. Imagine how many fake YouTube accounts the 20 people could set up. And that's what they're doing 8, 9, 10 hours of the day. And mind you now, it didn't take long to determine this is an Indian scammer. This was in a couple hours of some comments in the YouTube section. So I told him, do not delete nothing. He said, tell YouTube we said hello. Okay. So it went from him to we in just like a matter of seconds. So it's already more than one. I'm just going to go on what he said about it being 20. It might be more. 20 of them. Okay. It's 20 of you all. And all of you all have fake YouTube accounts. And you're going on influencers videos, content creators videos that are talking about NovaTech being a scam. And you're leaving all these horrible comments. Because you're trying to stifle free speech. I don't care if you guys understand that in India. But over here, we do have our free speech. We have the First Amendment. And it's a right that we have to be able to talk about things freely. And if I have legal court documents, cease and desist orders, telling a scam to stop scamming people, then I'm going to call it a scam. A scam is a scam is a scam. And I kept calling him little boy, so he called me Lil Weave. I don't care. I don't care. It's funny that your mind is on weave, and I'm talking about violating cease and desist orders, offshore accounts, money laundering, some, wire fraud, bank fraud, because if they got multiple offshore accounts and they create shell accounts and they're doing all these wire transfers, all this fraud going on, you're stealing money from people. You're basically saying that, I guess if you've been with them for 3 years and you're getting money from them every week, that you pretty much are part of this scam nonsense. And that cease and desist orders means nothing. So I could easily assume that is the sentiment that the owners share and all of the other recruiters share as well. Like they literally think they are above the law. Just because you idiots fled to St. Vincent and the Grenadines does not mean that you're above federal laws. Don't act as if the U.S. cannot extradite your behinds back here and charge your behinds and throw you in prison. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. Oh yeah, he said it will, after I told him he doesn't have a soul, stealing money. Thank you for your comedy today. Loving it over here. Your career should take way off. Maybe you can do a gig like Carrot Top and have a bunch of different weaves, like Carrot Top. He must have Googled that, like right on the spot, because I don't even know much about Carrot Top like that. It's like, why are you comparing me to Carrot Top? Yeah, it was a man with orange hair. What are we talking about? Ah. I turned around and told him, here's some legal stuff for you to read. Not that I really expect him to comprehend it. And I'm sure he's not going to care, because, he's not a U.S. citizen, so he doesn't care. But, here's what a cease and desist order is. That's the definition of it. And then got down to the bottom, like, you're trying to weaponize Christianity. You're ridiculous. Oh, your insults are comical. And then I'm like, oh no, you're calling it an insult. Like I care about how you feel. Oh no. Oh no. I told him, you're on punishment. Go to your room. Give your parents back their cell phone. Stop playing on their phone. The Indians call scammer. Come on. Ugh. I'm like, oh, my hair is short. Oh no. A little boy wants to buy me some weave. Oh no. Oh, he did ask me if I was from the ghetto. No, sir, you are. I'm gonna need you to look up the term ghetto, by the way. Yeah, and you just look that definition up. But yep. So this was the first trail of comments. And I asked him, what part of India are you from again? And then, of course, he's like, oh, we are grateful for you. And then this quote that he obviously looked up. May God bless you, keep you, and may his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. That's a Bible scripture. And he probably just Googled it. He doesn't know that off the top of his head. He Googled that. And then he was like, we love you. We meaning the 20 people in that call center. Scam call center. I was like, are you going to tell me where you from? How much is NovaTech paying you for these fake accounts on YouTube? I said, let me guess. There's about 20 of you. Yeah, I can at least assume at the very minimum, one person per profile. So 20 fake YouTube profiles. And that's just on YouTube. But this is the more comical, and this is where it gets real here. In this comment trail, this started off with Don Martin. NovaTech FX is the best. Stop with the shenanigans. I want to say that this is another fake account, but could be real. I just don't know. That's not normal dialect of English-speaking American citizens. We don't use words like that twice. Stop with the shenanigans. So I was like, he came in, Ethan Bast again, the fake profile. Amen, sister. He had to Google that. So I said, stop violating cease and desist orders from federal courts. And NovaTech is a scam, period. And legit investment companies do not get cease and desist orders for fraud. Let me edit that. And I'm doing this real time. For fraud. There you go. I said, what part of India are you from again, little boy? And then I said it again. And then I named some cities in India. And then I spoke a little Hindi. And look where he came back. Oh, you mean you're from India? I understand now. Oh, yeah, you understand because you understand Hindi. I'm speaking your language. I said, so which city are you from? I said, I'm not from India, but I learned the language from Jim Browning, Scammer Payback, and Kit Boga. My favorite channels to watch. I'm still learning it. I haven't mastered it, but I'm still learning it. He was like, and he took a minute. So I was able to get in a few comments back to back. So I said, how much is NovaTech paying you for this fake YouTube account? Because I already knew in the last comment trail that these comments are fake. This profile is fake. So I already knew that. I'm just trying to like see what more information he's gonna give me. Then I was like, at Don Martin, so NovaTech is paying people in India for fake YouTube accounts. Is there no low point for you people? How far are you all willing to sink in the name of a scam and greed? But here's the kicker. The fake website, NovaTechFX.com, was actually created and programmed by a company in India. I looked that up. And that's the results that I got. So it makes sense that there's a scam call center in India that's sitting here monitoring YouTube accounts, posting up fake reviews on their website, posting up all these random comments on people's videos that are saying that this is a scam. You know, you can try all day to stifle somebody's First Amendment rights, but that ain't gonna work. But I mean, you know, so he came back and I said, speak to me, answer my questions. How many more fake accounts do you have set up for NovaTech? And then he came back, if you watch Scammer Payback like you say you do, say hi to Vivian Rogers. Vivian Rogers is a character that Perogi portrays on Scammer Payback. So if you watch the channel, you know, a lot of these scam baiting channels, thank God for them, they have these, you know, vocal tuners or whatever, and they disguise their voice, and they have these characters. And that's one of Perogi's characters, Vivian Rogers. So he knew that, and the fact that he knew that lets me know not only are you still an Indian scammer, but you are watching these videos because you want to know if someone's catching you in the act of scamming someone. Otherwise, they wouldn't know about them. Unless you're just, you know, into watching these scam baiting videos. But I mean, I watch it because one is entertaining and it's educational too. Because you start to understand the thought pattern and how they respond when they get caught. They start acting maniacal. And then they just don't know what to say. So they just say anything that's just random. It's like, we missed you. A bunch of us just ordered pizza. I've been waiting for you to respond. Great free entertainment. Inflation is so much. Inflation is so much. You're not in the United States of America. This is not even things that we say even when we know it. And this is not the dialect or the syntax and statements that regular English speaking Americans use. So, I mean, just the fact that, okay, this is definitely sounding more and more like someone that's trying their best to speak the English language based on how much they know and not because they actually speak it as a first language or a second or a third. But, and there's nothing wrong with learning multiple languages, but they are doing it just to scam people. So the English is pretty bad. And I'm just kind of like, okay. And I spoke more Hindi and told them flat out, look, just tell me where you are. Give me a hint. What's the first letter of the city? So he was like, you know, and I even told him, I said, I'll send Perogi a message to you. I'll contact him if you tell me where you are. He said, I already sent one for you about you. Nice pics, by the way. He was talking about my profile. Okay, I have a whole YouTube channel. I was like, come on, just tell me where you are. And then, of course, I'm like, you know, you can just listen. Just give me the first letter of the city you're in India. So, of course, I said, what the hell? Why are you sitting here responding to someone, amen, sister? You don't talk like that in your normal, everyday language. Sister, who are you trying to speak slang to? Get out of here. You know, but like I said, I think that Don Martin's account profile and everything's fake as well. They put up a picture of a black woman. If it's fake, whose picture is that of? I would feel really bad that they're using someone's picture for a fake YouTube account. Ah, boy, if they see mine, y'all know it's fake. Y'all see my picture pop up on another channel. It's fake. Ethan Bass probably gonna set up a fake YouTube account with LadyLuck or whatever you call me. I don't know. So I said the best way to catch a scammer is to learn their language. Where do you live? What's your real name? Comment of the year, because it's true and it worked on you. So It's like, oh, I'm in Calcutta Sector 5 in Genesis building like Perogi says. I'm sure you are. Shows how loopy you are. Loopy is a big term for you, you little boy, that you probably can't define. So I'm sitting here like speaking more Hindi, of course. I'm like, how many, YouTube accounts, fake YouTube accounts have you created for NovaTech? And how much are they paying you? And I said, oh, it worked on you. And it did. He's just losing his crap. He said, I'll give you one clue. I live in one of 50 states. Let's play the game. I see a terrible YouTube channel. Can you guess? Yes, it's Last Luck Club. Last Luck Club? I gotta look that channel up. Last Luck Club. Oh. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we're gonna look that up. Last Luck Club. Good God. He said, this is great. Show all my colleagues that you think I'm from India. No, I know you're from India. We are dying over here. So he said, at Lady Club, we just found out you're oh God, wrong pronoun, dude. Really Chinese. I guess I'm Chinese now. And then he sent me this Chinese. So okay. I don't know how. Oh God. African American woman in the United States of America, but yet, hey, I'm Chinese to him. Whatever. I'm not even. Who cares? I'm not even gonna we're not deflecting. So I said, you don't live in. You're nowhere near the States. I'm just gonna put that out there. I know you're in India. Now, mind you, in the other comment trail, he said he was in Michigan. So he gets here. He says, I'm from Florida. LMAO. But okay, believe India. No, first you said Michigan. Keep up with your lies, little boy. First of all, I have no reason to believe an Indian scammer or any scammer for any reason. The Petions, anybody in NovaTech that's perpetuating this scam, these Indian scammers setting up these fake YouTube profiles, I have no reason to believe any of them at anything they say. None. They're scammers. I don't owe them that. I don't owe them any level of trust. So, of course, he's like, oh, thank you for making my day. Waiting for next comedy act. I said, okay. First you say you were from Michigan. Now you saying you're from Florida. You remember I told you I was going to record all this. So I said, if you're in Florida, go get a copy of the bankruptcy filings for your cult leader, Cynthia Petion. She's broke. I said, go get a copy of her bankruptcy filings. let's get a copy of that. I'm still waiting on you to tell me where you live. I'm still waiting on him to answer how many more fake YouTube profiles and accounts he's got set up for NovaTech. Just on YouTube. That's not including the other social media. And then, of course, I'm still waiting for the name of the bank account numbers, where their offshore accounts are in St. Vincent, where their actual real U.S. dollars money is sitting in. Because these people don't care about no crypto. A lot of these scammers and people who start these scams in the first place, they never even invest their own money into their own scams. And you can literally look up, just pick a Ponzi scam, especially people who've gone to jail over it, or prison, and then go from there. Bernie Madoff did not invest his own money into his own scam. Nope. That Sam Bankman-Friedman little boy? Nope. Charles Ponzi himself? No. They can lie and say that all day. But the reality is they did not put up any of their own money. And the Petions didn't either. They're just using your money. And they're spending it, living lavishly. And then they're giving you guys fake crypto that doesn't exist. And it's sad. And now they're hiring Indian scammers to set up fake YouTube accounts. And this is wild. This goes deeper than I thought it did. But I mean, it makes sense, like I said, because their NovaTech FX website was fake. And I, did my research and found out that it was created by some company in India. So, So far, the only thing I will believe is just the assumption that it is probably at least 20 people in this scam call center. And he could very well be in Kolkata, you know. And they're all sitting around reading my comments and laughing about it. And probably watching my videos. Keep watching. You're just pushing up my views. All right. 1 hour going over these comments. But you guys, please, you can read these comments for yourselves. Because I told that little boy not to touch them. Don't delete nothing. And I had every intention on recording this video. Because so I can capture these comments and then report it. He could probably care less. I mean, these are fake YouTube accounts. He could easily just shut them down and have them deleted and removed. And, you know, if Don Martin, if you are a real person, let me tell you something. Cut the crap. Look at, this is what NovaTech is doing. And I don't expect nothing less from them. I mean, they're a scam company. Scam. I'm not even going to give them the privilege of calling it a company. They're scammers. So they're going to act and behave and do things that scammers do. And that includes fake everything. It's fake. Fake website, fake address, fake phone number for a fake company headquarters. Fake. Fake crypto, fake Forex, fake everything. Fake. Fake demo accounts. Fake. Everything's fake. Fake YouTube accounts, fake profiles, fake comments, fake reviews. Fake. And I had the privilege of meeting 20 of them. Come back, Ethan. All right, you guys continue to stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. This has definitely been interesting. First time dealing with a scammer. All right, and until the next video.